Natural disasters, foundation issues, and property disputes, all reasons to relocate your home. Retirement from service, the end of an era, and a new mission as an exhibit. All reasons to relocate a space shuttle. So how do engineers tackle what seems impossible to move? Hello Circuiteers. This season on The Circuit, we told you about how engineers are lending a helping hand after natural disasters tore through communities like the LA wildfires, which reduced entire blocks to ashes, and the Texas floods that swept entire communities away. But in the aftermath, even when a home is left standing, the ground beneath it may be charred and unstable. And that's when engineers step in to lift, shift, and move a home to stronger, safer ground. House relocation is a centuries-old practice transformed by modern technology. Today, hydraulic jacks, robotic legs, and unified lifting systems are just a few gadgets in an engineer's pocket that carry entire homes across miles of terrain. And here's how a house relocation works, Circuiteers. Step 1. A site check and moving plans. Engineers check your house to determine if it's structurally sound and can be lifted off its current foundation. Then your structural moving company, along with engineers, they iron out all the details and calculate the cost before the actual work begins. Step 2. Permits and paperwork. This is where deals get signed and road permits adhering to city codes are obtained for moving the house from one location to the next. Step 3. Prepping your home. Prior to relocating your house, engineers work with movers, contractors, electricians, and plumbers to disconnect your house from all utilities and plumbing. The lot gets stripped of any fencing and anything else that's in the way. And whatever's left behind, that's demolished or recycled. Step 4. Lifting your house. The structural moving company digs around your house's foundation, then inserts steel beams underneath. Using a hydraulic jacking system, your house is lifted and pulled onto a dolly. This dolly is then attached to a truck and transportation is underway. Step 5. The finish line. The foundation at the new site has been engineered ahead of time. When the house arrives, it's lowered onto the new foundation, the steel support beams are removed, and the inspector confirms everything checks out. The home you love, filled with all those memories, is now able to create new ones in a brand new location. Houses aren't the only giants engineers can move. Back in 2012, Los Angeles stood still as the space shuttle Endeavour made its final journey through the streets block by block. But what exactly is Endeavour, and how did it capture the world's imagination? The Challenger explosion in 1986 was an unbelievable tragedy that sent shockwaves through NASA, the country, and the world. A year later, NASA rebounded and construction began on Space Shuttle Endeavour. Over the years Endeavour was active, it completed 25 missions. That's 296 days, 3 hours, 34 minutes, and 2 seconds in space. Once Endeavour was retired, proposals were made to permanently house the space shuttle. But where would it land? Endeavour weighs 180,000 pounds, too heavy for helicopters and too fragile to dismantle. Engineers had one option, an engineering crawl from LAX to the shuttle's final resting place at the California Science Center. Engineers began with simulations. Laser scanners built 3D illustrations of every street and every obstacle. Engineers ran crash detection software to predict collisions down to the inch. Then came the self-propelled modular transporters, or SPMTs, which are massive platforms with hundreds of wheels, each independently steered. Engineers used hydraulics to raise and lower Endeavour, crab walking the shuttle sideways through the streets, sometimes pivoting around corners. However, at the 405 bridge, SPMTs proved to be too heavy. Since engineers are quick thinking, they improvised. Endeavour was lowered onto a custom dolly, then pulled across the freeway with a stock Toyota Tundra. With an average speed of about 2 miles per hour, on par with the rest of LA traffic, this massive engineering project came to an end when Space Shuttle Endeavour made it safely inside its new home at the California Science Center, just 15 hours behind schedule. Now, more than a dozen years later, Endeavour is off display at the California Science Center as it prepares for its final move into the future to the Samuel Ocean Air and Space Center, which is located in the same complex in LA's Exposition Park.
There are numerous reasons for relocation. Whether relocating a home or relocating a space shuttle, engineers remind us that nothing is too heavy or too complex when engineering takes the wheel.
If you enjoyed this week's episode of The Circuit, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe for more incredible engineering news.
And a special thank you to the Ming Hsieh Institute at USC Viterbi for making this episode possible.